Hello and welcome to week 16. You can see that right here. We're in week 16. I'm shifting that screen. That's the one I wanted to highlight right there. I was looking at the wrong one. Just making sure everything's recording and we have volume. All looks good. And that's in the right place. Welcome to week 16. 2 videos here for you to watch. The first video is going to show you what you should be doing this week. That's this video coming up soon. And the next video is going to show you, we're going to talk a little bit about content. So let's jump right in and look at what you should do this week. You should go through all of your assignments through week 16. So if we take a look at those and scroll down, you should be done with all of these here in Canvas. And week 16, just write a little reflection paper. This isn't to place a lot of emphasis on making it amazing. Just talk to me like you're talking to me. And just share with me your thoughts on what you've learned in this class. So don't put a lot of stress on this. Doesn't have to be research. Doesn't have to be formal. Really keep the tone conversational. And the main thing here is just to practice writing, because the more you write, the better you get at it. And so this is a no pressure writing assignment, very conversational, and almost like you're writing an email, but do put it on a piece of paper. In the sense of like, you're going to do it in somewhere like Google Drive. So if I was in here, I'd go in there and create a new Google Doc. Okay. So don't do it via email. Don't send it to me via email. It should definitely be submitted here in Canvas. So write a one-page paper on your favorite aspects of this class and the best things you've learned. The best things you learned. So that's your week 16 assignment. And you can see we're almost done with assignments here. Week 17, you're going to have a screen capture video and Chromebooks. I'm not sure what that is. Let's take a look. Capture your screen using video. You can either do this with your cell phone or with OBS. So here I'm recording my screen. I want you to record your screen some way too. So that's week 16, 17. You're just getting a preview there. For the discussion, come into the discussion and look for week 16 discussion, which is right somewhere. I know you probably favorite things learned. So same thing here. You're just going to share with the class one of the things that you've enjoyed learning in this class. So check that out. So that's what you need to do in Canvas. And I'm just reflecting here if there's anything else. We'll go right to my IT lab. So my IT lab, this was week 1. You should have done the exam. This was through week 5. This was through week 9. This is through week 13. And then this is going to take us 14, 15, 16 through exam 3. So make sure you're through exam 3 here in My Lab IT. And then also in the exams here, you want to make sure you're done with all those. And then you're done with all those. And then also start thinking about doing that one, finishing that up. So that's what you need to do. There was an interesting thing, just as a side note. So I guess also the next thing I'll tell you is your grade, half of your grade comes from the score you've earned in Canvas, and half of your grade comes from the score you've earned in My Lab IT. So for instance, if you had in Canvas, and I know this is a review for some, but for others, they've missed this information, or maybe it's a good reminder. So in here, if you looked at your grade and you had a 70%, and in here, and you looked at your grade, and you had like an 80%. 70 plus 80 is 150. Divide by 2 is 75. Would be your overall grade in the class, right? So we take half of your grade is made up for what you've done here, and half the grade is what you've done there. So you can get your score from here, get your score from here, add them together and divide by 2, and that gives you your score in the class. So just good to know. All right, last thing is just kind of a interesting curio, and I just want to kind of show you something. It's an AI thing, and I offer this to you as something you might want to check out. But how normal am I? And it will run artificial intelligence on your face. But I think that the way this has been programmed is programmed by somebody potentially who wants to maybe show you that AI could have negative ramifications. And the way this is being shown is it might look at your face and give you a negative interpretation, which is one of the downfalls of artificial intelligence, right? And so artificial intelligence and machine learning. So artificial intelligence is when we take machines and we build them in such a way that they can start to do things which seem almost like human intelligence, but it's not human intelligence, it's artificial intelligence, right? It's machines. And so we have algorithms that do things like machine learning. And machine learning is a way that we can approximate human intelligence, and we can create artificial intelligence with machine learning. And with machine learning, we kind of tell the machines, we want you to look for patterns, we want you to search for best ways to achieve certain outcomes. And then the machine goes through and looks at a ton of data and finds patterns and finds the best way to achieve certain outcomes. And it's learning what's the best way to achieve certain outcomes, or what's the best way to find certain patterns, right? And so that's machine learning, and it can create artificial intelligence and simulate human intelligence. And I'm using each of those phrases really specifically because there's a difference between them, right? Machine learning is slightly different than artificial intelligence. Machine learning allows us to approximate human intelligence and thus create artificial intelligence. And there are some negative ramifications of that. So you and I look at people's faces all the time and we make interpretations based upon them. And sometimes, maybe all the time, our interpretations might not be correct, right? We might look at somebody and think that person's angry, that person's happy, that person's got a wonderful life. Case in point, one time I saw a guy, I went to this place, it was like a European health spa retreat center in California, in Big Sur, called Esalen. And they have yoga workshops there and meditation workshops, and then also workshops for exploring human potential and how do I become a better person and how do I learn about how to live more skillfully. And so I was taking this workshop along those lines, and I wanted to, explore my human potential and how can I be a better person. And this guy, man, I hear this, like this amazing engine. And like this convertible Ferrari starts coming down the hill, right? Beautiful. You can see the coast here. Convertible red Ferrari. This guy driving, wavy hair, sunglasses, looks like a movie star. Beautiful woman sitting next to him. 2 young daughters in the back. And I'm just like, oh man, that guy's got the life. Look at, and he's hanging out with his family and he's walking on his hands. And he's like, he could be a model. He's so fit. And I'm just kind of envious. And then we get into the workshop. He's like, I'm here because I have leukemia and I might die. And I'm like, okay, I no longer want anything to do with his life. Like before I was totally coveting his life, and now I learned the truth. He has leukemia, and he might not be long for this earth. And though he has this appearance of the most desirable thing you might want, in reality, it's the least desirable thing, right? And so the point of that story is we can make wrong, incorrect interpretations, and we are human intelligence. Now, these machines will look at your face, and they might look at your face during a job interview, right? You're doing a video job interview. They're analyzing you, and then they're going to tell the people, no, this person's unhappy, don't hire him, don't hire her. Or this person has emotional trouble, don't hire them, right? Or this person's too anxious, don't hire them. And so, it's a whole new way of kind of categorizing and segregating people, and the interpretations may not be correct. And so if you go through this experiment with how normal am I, you might potentially this was created by somebody who wants you to have a negative experience so you could become more vigilant and aware of the potentially negative ramifications of artificial intelligence. Illustration. When I did this, right? When I did it, it said, you're 65% attractive. And my face went, huh? Because I always kind of thought of myself more like, I don't know. I thought of myself as doing better than that. And it kind of knocked me in a lot of areas. And so my face expression while it was doing that was kind of like, and then it said, you are angrily normal. Right? Because when it was showing me that I'm just average, like 65%, and I know I'm like intelligence, I'm totally a middle of the road person. Like GRE scores, I rank right in the middle of everybody who goes to graduate school. I'm just like a normal person. I work hard, but I'm a total normal person. I'm not gifted with, superlative genius. nor maybe is anybody. And how could that be measured? You look at Einstein, who, I think failed in math, and, all kinds of illustrations of that. And we have multiple intelligences and different strengths and different weaknesses. And that variety is the essence of nature and evolution. It's a necessity, right? And so when you see that, it's like, whatever, one test measuring me in one area, who cares, right? Because we know that we have strengths and weaknesses which differentiate us from others. So anyhow, this ranked me right in the middle. My face was kind of, and then it said, you're angrily normal. And then that bugged me for about 36 hours. Like literally, I'm like, I'm angrily normal, bugged me. So, take this with a grain of salt. It'll also, like if there's body issues or eating disorder issues, right? Like it might trigger some of that stuff for you, because it will tell you you're overweight, or you're not taking care of your health. It's fascinating to do. So I encourage you to check that out. Have your therapist's phone number ready if you need it. All right, I'll see you in the next video where we're going to talk about ethics.